Hey everyone and welcome! I am absolutely thrilled to have all of you 8th grade learners here for today's explainer. I want you to think for a second about your favorite skyscraper, or maybe a really beautifully designed house in your neighborhood. Writing an essay is honestly exactly like a thrilling construction project. Today, we aren't just putting random words on a page, we are stepping into the role of master architects. We're going to learn exactly how to build an argument from the ground up, making sure it's structurally sound, brilliantly designed, and totally capable of standing the test of time. Now, I want you to imagine walking down a street and seeing two totally different structures. Over on your left, there's a flimsy little shack, kind of just thrown together with some loose boards and a tarp. But on your right, a sturdy, expertly built house with a deep foundation, strong walls, and a solid roof. Which one would you rather live in? Which one commands more respect? Well, that is exactly the difference in our writing. A quick answer is just like that shack. It might give you shelter for a split second. But building a true masterpiece, that requires careful planning and some seriously robust materials. So, in our world, what do we call this masterpiece? We call it the constructed response. Think of this as a longer format response that gives you the ultimate opportunity to really show off your deeper analysis and bring in much more detailed evidence. Because, this isn't just about finding the right answer anymore, it's about proving exactly why it's the right answer. This is your moment to shine. It's your chance to step right into the spotlight and demonstrate those incredible analytical skills I know you've all been developing.
Okay, let's actually dive into the real differences here. Leaving the short answer behind means you're stepping up to a much more organized, heavily detailed level of writing. While a short answer is brief and to the point, a constructed response demands some serious organization. It requires a really clear claim, which is your main argument, backed up by multiple pieces of carefully selected evidence, followed by an in-depth explanation. You see, you aren't just stating a basic fact anymore, you are architecting an analysis.
Section 1. The Master Blueprint. Understanding the why.
Every great builder needs a blueprint and a clear purpose in mind before they ever even think about pouring concrete. Let's just pause and take a moment here. As godly learners, our ultimate why goes so much deeper than just getting a good grade on an assignment. Colossians 3:17 reminds us, "And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus." What this means for us is that the effort you put into your academic writing, your dedication to organizing your thoughts, your pursuit of excellence, all of it is an act of service. We build up these academic skills to honor the Lord with the incredible minds He has given us.
Now, beyond our spiritual foundation, there is absolutely a very practical academic why to all of this. These constructed response skills, they aren't just some neat trick for passing your STAAR tests, although let me tell you, they are totally essential for that. You are going to need these exact same skills for writing high school essays, for diving into college research, and eventually for professional writing in your career. Whether you end up as an engineer, a doctor, or an entrepreneur, you will need to know how to persuade others and explain really complex ideas clearly. This right here, this is training for your future. Section 2. Laying the foundation. Structuring your response. All right, it is time to put on our hard hats, grab those blueprints, and start actually building the structure of our essay right from the ground up. Here is your master blueprint, laid out in 4 chronological steps. Step 1, the introduction. Step 2, body paragraph 1. Step 3, body paragraph 2. And finally, step 4, the conclusion. This logical order is completely non-negotiable. I mean, think about it. If you try to build the roof before you've even put up the walls, the whole building collapses. Sticking to this strict 4-step structure ensures your reader can safely and easily walk through your argument from beginning to end. Let's start with step 1, the introduction. Your claim is literally the concrete foundation of your house. You have to start off with a super clear introduction that restates the prompt so your reader knows exactly what it is we're discussing and then states your claim. If you don't clearly put that claim right at the very beginning, the rest of your essay has absolutely nothing to stand on. The foundation will crack and your whole argument will just fall apart. Next up, we build the walls. These are our body paragraphs. Each body paragraph acts kind of like a distinct room inside your house. Just like a kitchen has a totally different purpose than a bedroom, each paragraph has to focus on exactly one main point. And to keep those walls from caving in on you, that main point must be supported entirely by solid, factual text evidence. Don't mix your rooms up, keep your points distinct and incredibly well supported. And finally, we reach the conclusion. Think of this step as the roof that seals the entire house. It protects everything you've just built inside. You end perfectly by simply summing up your argument or your interpretation. Listen, you don't build a brand new room up there on the roof.
right? You don't introduce brand new evidence at this stage. You simply bring all your previous arguments together securely, leaving your reader feeling that the structure is completely finished and weatherproof.
Section 3. Pillars and mortar, evidence and transitions.
Now that the basic framing of our house is up, we're moving to the next vital phase of construction. We need to look really closely at how we actually hold these sturdy rooms together. And your magic number for this is 2. You must always use at least 2 strong pieces of evidence to support your claim. These are your load-bearing pillars. If you only use one piece of evidence, your argument is super wobbly. It can be easily knocked right over by a counter-argument. But 2 or more strong pillars, that makes your response completely unshakable.
Okay, so if the evidence represents your pillars and your bricks, then your transitions are the mortar. Without mortar, a brick wall is honestly just a pile of stones waiting to tip over. Transition words, like in addition, for example, and this shows that they act as the glue. They smoothly guide your reader's eyes from one piece of evidence to the next, making sure your logic flows beautifully and securely from start to finish.
All right, listen up, because this brings us to the golden rule. You must explain each piece of evidence. I literally cannot stress this enough, learners. Please do not just drop a quote into your paragraph and casually walk away. You cannot assume your reader will magically see the connection you're trying to make. The reader cannot read your mind. It is your job as the master architect to explain exactly how that specific quote proves your overarching claim.
As we finish out the interior of our house, we need to do a quick clarity check. You've got to avoid repeating the exact same idea using different words. Think about it. A builder wouldn't build the exact same kitchen twice in a normal house, would they? Of course not. In the exact same way, your body paragraphs must always introduce fresh ideas. Every single paragraph needs to add something brand new to the analysis to maintain the reader's focus and keep the momentum of your essay moving forward.
Section 4. The building inspector, reviewing your work.
All right, the hard work is done and the building is officially up. But wait, before we can hand over the keys, the building inspector has arrived. Let's do a quick test of your memory. What is the actual difference between a short answer and a constructed response? Remember, our shack versus the sturdy house? The constructed response is longer. It requires deep organization. It states a very clear claim, and it relies heavily on multiple pieces of explained evidence. It is literally the difference between a quick passing thought and a proven masterpiece.
Question number 2 from the inspector. How should you organize a constructed response? Try to call up that master blueprint in your mind right now. It's a strict 4-step foundation, right? We start with the introduction to state the claim. We move into body paragraph 1 for a very first point. We flow smoothly into body paragraph 2 for our second point, and we cap the whole thing off securely with a conclusion. Let's just breeze through the rest of the inspector's checklist together. First, why do we use more than one piece of evidence? Well, because one pillar is wobbly, but 2 or more make your argument totally unshakable. Next, can you think of one example of a transition phrase? Something like, for example, or in addition. Yep, that's our mortar. And finally, why must you explain each piece of evidence? Because the reader cannot read your mind, and the golden rule dictates you have to connect the dots for them. Excellent work.
Section 5. The bedrock. Education and morality. As we wrap up all of our structural analysis today, I want to talk about what actually sits beneath the foundation of your house. And this brilliantly illustrates the real core of why we are even here. The Hero Smart Academy philosophy is simple, but it is so profound. Education without morality will hurt. I want you to think about that deeply. What is the point of being incredibly smart, of being able to write a totally flawless constructed response, if we just continue to make choices that hurt ourselves and the people around us? Intelligence without moral character is exactly like a beautifully built house that's been constructed on a sinkhole. Eventually, the whole thing just collapses. Because true stability, that comes from the Spirit. Romans 8:6-7 promises peace of mind to absolutely everyone who keeps his or her mind spiritual. This is what we experience as educators, and it is exactly what we want for you. When we intertwine our intense academic education with strong biblical morality, we aren't just becoming smarter students, we are cultivating a profound peace of mind that will anchor us safely through all of life's crazy storms.
So my final question for you, as we close out this explainer, is this. Will you choose to build both your academic mind and your moral character upon this spiritual bedrock today? Take all the amazing architectural lessons we've learned, the blueprints, the pillars, the mortar, and apply them not just to your upcoming STAAR tests, but to how you construct your daily life as a godly learner. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep building those amazing masterpieces, and I'll see you next time.